Welcome viewers, my name is Chris and you are watching me on my social media platforms YouTube, Facebook or maybe on Instagram. So as you all know that we are uh, in the journey of the learning series Mastering in Excel, and in that we are continuing this journey to learn various concepts and then tools and tech related to that, and then finally we demonstrate it through the demo, and finally we talks about the value and the outcome we get which we can derive from it. Okay, let's begin. So we are at our home page of ThinkEduEra. Here you can go and see what all learnings the ThinkEduEra will be providing in the future, and also the consulting services which we are beginning, which is related to the business development. When we say business development, if somebody wants to grow their business and if they want to leverage our expertise so that we can analyze their business, we can see that what are the pros and cons of the business and how we can grow the business. We can provide those services. Also, we would be coming up with the investment counseling and the career counseling, and of course we our motto is to do this and be part of the social responsibility. We would be rolling out the vlogs as well. Okay viewers, if you would like to know more about the vision, mission and the goal statement of our channel, you can go through our channel and see all the details listed there. Now we are at my favorite page, skill framework. Okay viewers, now let's just quickly let's just quickly do the recap of our chapter 4. If you all remember, in chapter 4 we had covered the uh, lookup functions or the reference functions, in which we had covered in detail about the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. If any one of you haven't watched that video as of now, you will find the link in the description or in the I button. You can go and watch that video as well. We had talked about the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP conceptually, and then we had talked about the search mechanism, how this VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP function works with the concept of the master table and the child table, and how the search mechanism works. Now viewer, let's begin with our next chapter, chapter 5, and in this chapter we would be covering the text functions. So let's begin. Okay viewers, today we would be covering the text functions. And regarding the text function, let's just review the quick facts. Nobody would tell you about these facts, and that's where the people are, these are the missing links which viewers are not able to link together and take out the benefit of various capabilities which MS Office offers, especially the Excel. And let's just look at these quick facts about the text thing in Excel. The very first thing we would be talking about, the text entries can be very well managed into Excel. So viewers, when people talk about the Excel and the picture which people see is that Excel is a tool where we manipulate numbers. Not really. Excel has a capability of handling various data types, and that's how Excel is built on the hybrid model. When I say hybrid models, it means Excel have the capabilities or the add-ins to deal with various kind of data types. It can not only handles the numeric data or the arithmetic data. Apart from the numbers, it can also deal with various other data types like the text as well. Also, you might have heard about that, it can handle the dates, it can handle times as well. It can handle various formats and everything. Of course, what Excel internally uses is none of your business. You all need to understand what are the data types which Excel can handle, and Excel can very well handle the text as well. Of course, not in terms of the Word document, because there is a separate tool MS Office has designed as MS Word. However, in Excel, when you manipulate numbers, of course there is some text, there are some captions, or there are some sentences, there are some callouts which is associated with those numbers, and hence it becomes extremely important that Excel have the capabilities to deal with those text functions, and Excel have those capabilities built in. Okay, viewers, let's move on. So I hope that you are clear that Excel have the capabilities not only to manage the numbers, but it can very well handle the various other data types, which may include the text. Okay, the second point or the fact which we all should remember, that text manipulation is managed by text functions into Excel. So to manage the text, like the numeric, unlike the numbers or the numeric values which is available in the Excel cells as a value or as a cell reference, you have the capability, Excel have provided the capability to manage the text via the text functions only. If you want to do, you perform some calculation, you want to some extract some part of the text, you want to capitalize it, you want to make it a lowercase, or if you want to make it a sentence case, you want to extract some part of the text. All of these tasks or activities, I would say, is handled in Excel via the text functions. Okay, next, the text may be managed in many ways. Like I said, the text in Excel may be managed in various ways, like by using the Excel text functions. We all can, you know, would like to, let's say if you would like to know about the length of a text, that what is the total length of a text which is available in a cell, so that you can perform further actions into it. You can do some text manipulations, like you want to change the type of the text written into the cells. Maybe you want to change it to the uppercase, maybe in the lowercase, or maybe in some other things. You can also perform some task or the activities on a text which is available in a cell, uh, which is called as a text extractions. When I say text extraction, means sometimes you would like to take out the part of that text which is available in a cell, maybe from a left side, maybe from a right side, or maybe from the middle of it. And this all operations or the activities or task is known as text extractions. Apart from this, unlike the text extractions, you extract some part of a text from a text. However, in the concatenations, as the name suggests, it combines two different text which is available into two different cells, or maybe in the different ranges. You can combine them together into one. Okay, viewers, let's keep going. Next point to remember is, if a cell format is set to a general, and there is a cell format, as I told you that Excel has the capability to manage the various data types, and how Excel handles it, there is a cell format. There are various kind of cell formats available into Excel, and the user have the capability to change the cell format, as each cell have a unique address. Similarly, each cell may have a its cell format, and that is the beauty of Excel, that each cell may be of a different types. Like, if you are creating a table, the header may be the text type, and under the headers you can have a various data type. Let's say one column may be for month, it may handle the date type. One column may be like, for some amount, it may be a numeric value, and another may be like, item code, it may be looking like as number but it is a text. Next column may have a item description maybe, and that may be a text entry. So that's how the Excel manages the different cell formats, and that cell format can be set to a different data types, and we would know in our future sessions that how do we use a different cell formats into Excel. However, related to this point, if a cell format is set to a general, and general is a cells data type, anything and everything. So when you set a cell format to a general, it means that you are giving the Excel the liberty that whatever entry you are making into a cell, Excel would automatically identify the data type of it and assign it to that particular cell. So let's say if you are putting some text into a cell, Excel will identify it and tag it as Excel. It will still keep the cell format as general. However, it will treat that data types as Excel. However, if you put the numbers into that cell, it will automatically identify that you are making a numeric entry to a cell. It will be treated as a number only. You can perform various, the mathematical operation on those cells which in which you have entered the numeric values. So that is how the general format works. So anything and everything which starts as an alphabet in the cell will be identified as a text or a string. So where sometimes I would be calling it text, or sometimes I would be calling it string. Please, you know consider these two words as interchangeably. I can either use text or a string. Both are the same way. Both the meaning of text and string is same in Excel. Okay. Or if you start a entry in a cell with the apostrophe, that will also be counted as a, or considered as a text entry into Excel. Okay, let's move on. In case of a direct entries or text string into the text functions, viewers, as you all know that I had told you that Excel functions have the capability that you in the functions as a parameter, or as a parameter, or as a what we call it as a references, you can pass on the references, I mean the cell ranges or cell references, cell addresses to the function, or you can put some direct entries into the cells. So in the text context, if you are using a text function, and rather than referencing the function to some cell ranges or to a particular cell address, you are putting a direct text entry into that particular cell, then you will have to use those quotes, double quotes. And I have put in those sign on the slides, you can see it. And those and Excel works with these double quotes, not the single quotes. However, this signs is known as quotes, and if you put an entry into a text function under these quotes, it would be considered as text only. Else, if you would not be using those, Excel will not work, or Excel text function will not get executed. It will stop then and there. And viewers, just for your knowledge, there are two kinds of quotes signs. One is the single quotes, another is the double quotes. However, remember, Excel in the text function always, or mostly, I would not say always, but I would say it mostly uses the double quotes to make the text entries directly into the function. Okay, let's move on. Anything contains in a text or a string gets counted in the text or a string length. Okay, viewers, very, very important that if a cell contains some text entries or a range contains a text entries, you can very well calculate the length of the text in that particular cells. So in order to, whenever you are trying to find out that how long my text length is in a particular cell, you will have to remember that Excel will not only count the text which is visible in that cell, however it will also count the non-printable character. When I say non-printable character, it may be a space, it may be a enter, it may be even a tab. So there are, if you don't know what the non-printable characters, viewers, I can create another videos. Please comment me if you would like to know more about the non-printable character. Okay, viewers, let's keep going. Very interesting fact. The text functions are designed to work on the text or string data types, and no arithmetic functions can be applied on the text data. Even the data types, data in the cell looks like as number, but it is a text. So very important, viewers, when you enter, or there are some entries in Excel cells which is text in nature, or if their cell format is set as a text format, then nobody would be able to perform any arithmetic or mathematical operations into those, because text is different from numbers, right? In the numbers you can add numbers, you can subtract number, you can divide numbers, you can multiply numbers, even you can calculate the power of a number. However, text is not meant like that. Text is always readable, text is always conclusive, text is always factual, and you can read it out, you can take out some manipulation out of it, and you can read it out, right? Or you can derive some conclusion from those text or the captions which is more relevant into the Excel. So just remember that the if sometimes what happens, viewers, let's say a employee number, you see a column in a Excel sheet which is employee number, let's say, or let's say our previous, takes the example of our previous example, which is the table which we had used for the student table, right? So in the student table we had used the roll number. So roll number, though it was looking like as a number in the cell, like roll number 100, 100, and so that, like that only. So these entries, when a user who is unknown to this sheet and will look at that sheet, and he will see the caption roll number, by the roll number he can understand that this should be a non-numeric field, right? Because you cannot perform any arithmetic operation, or you would not like, or it would not be logical to make any calculation or to perform any calculation on the text entries, even though if they are looking like as number in the cells, because internally or as a cell format is set as a text. And if you would like to, if any user would like to perform those actions, they will see that, so let's say the roll number is 100, and in some other cell you want to do the multiply by 2, and you will say that equal to, and you will give the cell reference of the where the roll number 100 was stored, and you will use the multiply sign and 2, and then you will try to press enter and it will throw an error. So user will say, why it this operation is not getting executed, why this formula is not functioning, or if even if you are using a function, it will not work. Why? Because you will have to go and check the data type of that 100 value, though it is looking like as an 100, which is a number in, as it is visible in the Excel. However, its data type is set as text, and hence since you can't perform any arithmetic calculation on the text value, you can't, Excel is not performing that action for you, but you are confused because it is looking like as number, however it is stored as a text. So just remember, though that some values in a cell may look like as number, however their data type may be different, maybe text or maybe something else, and that's how your arithmetic operation will not work on that. Just remember this. If you remember this, you would be able to eliminate a lot of confusion, and you can be very clear that where you can perform the calculations using the arithmetic formulas or functions, or if it's a text entry, you would be deal it with the text function, not with the arithmetic functions. I hope viewers, by reading these facts and the explanations which I gave you about all of these facts, if you know these concepts, as we all know that as ThinkEduEra, we follow the skill framework and we do not talk anything without the concept. So these quick facts is basically covering the facts, the concept, the base, the foundations of the text function. If you know all of these facts, then you know the working with the text function would be a cake of piece of cake for all of you, as we say always. Viewers, let's move on. Okay, so now let's begin with the functions, the text functions. I would not be able to cover all of the text functions. However, viewers, I picked up few functions, few text functions. Those are most commonly used, and I would explain you how this function works. And if you go through and just pay attention what I am telling you in this session, I would be very sure that you can use the other text functions as well, which I am not going to explain you in this session. However, I am giving you the list of all the text functions which I am not covering here, but I will just brief you all of you in short in this session. So just be watch this video till the end. Okay, so let's begin with the len function. Len is nothing but a short form of length, and all of you know that what do you mean by the length. So these functions basically calculate the length of a text in a cell or a range. I would, to be precise, I would say it works on a cell. So I would say it will calculate the range text length of a text or a string which is reference to this function or directly used as an apostrophe or the apostrophe in this function as a or if you are directly passing the values to this function. Okay, let's just see this. Just read it out. Determine the length of the text or string entered directly or passed as a reference in the function's length function. So I already told you about that in any function you can either directly enter any value or a text, especially if you are talking about the length function. You will always, if you are want to pass any direct value, it would always be a text value, right? And all those text value should be between these double quotes. Just remember this. Okay, now just look at this column text. Okay, I have put in some text values in these cells like knowledge. This is all about text function. Know the length function. Use double parentheses for direct text entries into text functions. So viewers, for all of you, I am giving you the demonstration as well. I am giving you this conceptual knowledge as well. So that's why I use this text judicially here. Okay, and just look at these functions. How do you use these functions? So if you want to know the length of all of those text which is written in the text column here, and in the next column I have shown you the formula how you can write it in the next two columns, the formula result and functions result in the functions result column. So equal to, then you will write the formula name len bracket open, and then you will simply give the cell reference like this cell if e3, then next would be e4, e5, e6, e7. So I don't have to go in those details. You can just write one formula, you can drag it down. We all know how do we drag the formula, right? We don't have to write the separate formula for each cell. We can just write it for one and drag it down. It will work for all. Alternatively, in the next column, just look at the next column. In the len equal to len bracket open e3 bracket close, here I am referencing a cell. I am not putting a direct value in the function. I am giving the cell reference which is cell e3, e4, e5, e6, e7, right? E6, e7. However, if you look at the next column, just pay attention here, viewers. Equal to len bracket open and then I use this double quotes. Do you remember? If I want to use a direct value in the function, so let's say I want to do some testing and I do not have those values written in a cell. I can just directly, I just directly want to put them into the function. So you can do that very well. So like here you can see the bracket open, and then you will use open quotes, and then you will write that text, and bracket before bracket close you will just use the that double quotes once again, so that the Excel will know that from where your text is beginning and from where your text is ending. However, when just remember, when Excel will calculate the length, it will not include those quotes into the length of Excel. It will only calculate the length starting from K, and it will start and at E. K here and at E here. It will not add those codes in those. It's just an identifier. It's just an identifier of a start point and an end point, and between that, whatever is written will be counted as the length of that text. So let's take the next example. LEN, and this is a sentence, right? This is a sentence, so this sentence will always have a space, of course, because sentence is a combination of words, and when you write words, you give the space, you use space to separate those words, right? However, if you see, as I told you, Excel will always identify by these codes that from where your text is beginning, and identify in the when the next code will found, it will identify that your text is closed, and whatever is in between, it will count that length. So in this case, you see that there are some words, there are spaces also used. So when Excel will give you or return the value of this text length, it will also count the non-printable characters, as I told you earlier. Like in this case, it's a text, right? Normally it's the space bar, sorry, it's the space, not the space bar. Space is always used through the space bar, which is available in your keyboard. Apart from this, in your keyboard there are other keys which is non-printable keys, right? You know, your alt key, your tab key, your enter key. These all are the characters, because when you are using those characters, basically your keyboard is sending some input to the tool or the application which you are using. However, it is not visible in your screen or a output device, but it's there, and it is not when you are printing your document or the Excel sheets, it is not getting printed there. However, these things are very well there, and that's why they are known as a non-printable characters. Viewers, if you need a separate video and you want to understand what all are the non-printable characters, if you will give me a sense that viewers wants to know more about it, I can create a separate video on that. Okay, let's move on. Okay, viewers, with this length function, you just understood as of now that how a text can be put in into a cells into the Excel, and that makes more sense that your text is already available in the in some range or some cells, and when you want to know the length of that text or a string, you always use this length function, and you will always reference those cells or ranges from where you want to calculate the length, like which is available here in this cell. However, you can directly use also the text entry into the function itself, and you will have to use the double quotes in that case if you are directly using the text values into a function. Now, viewers, let's just look at what these are the actual functions entries. I have shown you that how we will enter the functions into the cells for referencing here, for direct entries. Now let's just see the results of these entries. Hey, here is the results. So I just use the same everything. Here I am showing you the function itself, that how the function will be written into the cells. Here you will see the the result of those functions. So see the so basically, how do you understand this? The text which is written, which is a knowledge has a length of 9, because if you will count the total character in this text, it is 9. So it will giving you the result, both these functions len e3 and this len bracket open, this quotes open, then knowledge, then quotes, and then open. This total length of this string is 9. Similarly, this is all about text length function. This the total length of this sentence is 38 character. When you say 38 character, it will not only include the words which you see here, it will also count all those spaces. You see, this is there, in this between there is a space. Is all is there is a space. So it will also count starting from this point T, it will count till N. Whatever is in between, it will count everything, even the non-printable characters. Just remember this. So this 38 is the total length of this sentence. However, it always include the non-printer character, non-printable character also, because when you will count these, words here, or the characters here, you will see you will not found them as 38, because they will always be less than this, because there are how many spaces, 1 2 3 4 5 spaces there. So 35 minus 5 is 33. So 33 is your characters here, and 5 are non-printable character. That's why, however, it doesn't matter for Excel. Excel will calculate, will whenever Excel is calculating the length, it will count everything from starting point to end point. Just remember this. So similarly, we have the next, like 24, length is 24. Why I am showing you the result in these two columns? Because in this is the result, these are the formula, this is the result of these formulas. These are the formulas where we have directly entered the text as a parameter here, and here is the result. So there is no difference. Either you reference to a particular cell, or either you make a direct entry into the cells, the result will always be same. So I hope, viewers, that as of now you are very much clear about the length function. Even if you have any doubt about it, you can comment me, I can respond you there. Let's move on, user. Okay, viewers, now we will discuss the next category of functions in the text functions, like the change case. There are situations when because Excel is a very powerful tool. It can, there are various tools in the market, like all of the analytical tools. Maybe it's a Cognos or a BI tool, or a SAS or MS Access, uh, have the capabilities to extract the data or to export the data from these tools to into Excel. It's not necessary that every time the data which you are using in Excel, you are just keying in that data directly there. It can be it can come into the Excel sheet as a result of, as an export from other tool or other application, and that text is always there. Now, and these kind of the text calculation or text function is much more useful when you are using the data import from other applications, because those applications sometimes use the text entries into a different ways, and that's how your when the data is exported into the Excel, you can use these text functions to deal with that data, and can make that data in a way you want to use it. And the next function which we are going to discuss is the change case type functions. And to change the case of a text, so when I say to change the case of a text in Excel, means that a text may be written in uppercase, text may be written in a, and we will, don't worry about that, we will do the learn all of these things into the demonstration session, that how, what is upper, what is lower, what is proper. So change case is upper, lower and proper. There are three functions in this text function where you can change the look of your text in the cell, that how it is looking. So let's say if it is a name, you want to write the name of a person into the upper letter. When I say upper letter, it's everything in capital. Sometimes there may be something you are not interested to see those entries in the upper letter, you just want to make everything in lower, you can very well do that. There are other way to do it, like if you want to, you have a sentence kind of entries, and you want to use the sentence case. And sentence case is what, each character of a sentence, the first character of the sentence is always capital, right? That's the grammatical rule. So you apply those rules here with the proper function. So each letter of a word would be a capital here in this case. So there are three, these are three functions. Let's just look at this. Sorry. Okay, So these change case text functions are upper, lower, and proper. These are three categories or three functions available in this change case category. And of course, the change case is a text function. We are just learning the text function today, nothing else. Okay. So these text functions is used to format or writing styles of the text or a string into required format like uppercase, lowercase, sentence case, or a proper case. I told you. And let's just see this example. So let's say you pulled this information from some application and this is written like this. Like, see, the name of a person is Krishna Kumar Verma. However, if you see, this looks like little weird. Like, you see, the first few characters in the first name is small letter, then you have a capital letter, then again it's some are the small, some are the capital letter, then again same similarly. So if you have a column, let's say you exported from some application where you have some customer names, and these customer names is written in a haywire format, I mean, which is not very much readable, which is not pleasurable to see. So you can apply these functions, like, for this case, let's say if I want to see this name in the upper letter or the capital letter, I can use the upper function equal to upper E3, and I will show you the result in a while. Don't worry about this. Similarly, I want to use the lower case, I can use the proper case. And similarly, I use the another example for a sentence case. This is a for a name and this is a sentence case. So let's just look at the result now. So upper will change everything in capital letter, lower will change everything in this cell as a, of course not in this cell, but where we will apply that formula, right? Like in this column. And it will always change everything into the lower letter. It will always change everything, like, each character of a letter of a word would be capital and everything else will be the lower case. Let's just see the result now. Okay, viewers, so we have the result now here. So these were our text and this is the result of our function. See here, everything is changed to capital letter. So Krishna Kumar Verma was written like this. While we use this function upper E3, let's say this cell address is E3, we used upper E3 and the result of this function is here. Krishna Kumar Verma is completely changed as in capital letter. So let's just look at this second example. The text is same. Here we use the lower function, here we use the proper. So what's the difference? Upper will change everything in the capital letter, lower will change everything in the lower letter. However, sentence case, what it is doing is, it is making the first letter of every word as capital and all other character is getting changed into the lower letter. So this is how your upper, lower and proper function works. Similarly, the sentence case also, you can see it is everything is changed into the capital, everything is changed into the lower, and here if you see the every first character of the text or the word is changed to capital, rest everything is changed to the small letter. Now, viewers, I hope that you are very much clear about the upper, lower, and proper function. Let's move on. Okay, viewers, few more functions. Now, we are going to discuss about the text extraction. As I told you earlier, that if you have some text entries and you want to extract some part of those text entry, maybe from a left of it, maybe from a right of it, or maybe from a middle of it, which is mid of it. So you can use these three functions which is available into the Excel. So text extraction function are left function, right function, and a mid function. Also with this, I think it is very important to understand that as there are situations where you want to extract some part of a text, maybe from left, maybe from right, maybe from middle of it, but there are situations that text is scattered into different places or into different cells and you want to combine them together as one. So in that case, you would be using the combining text or a text concatenate functions. And for that, in Excel, there are two functions. One is named as concat, another is concatenate. There is a slight difference in these two. I will tell you. Both are doing the same work, but there is some difference. That's why Excel have created these two different functions. Okay, let's just quickly review it. Okay, viewer. So if you see here, the text extract functions used to extract a portion of the text from the text based on their position into their text or string. Now, viewers, please pay attention because these functions are very important and very few people you know how to use them in their daily life. So let's take the same example of a name of a person and then there is a sentence. So the name of the person is Krishna Kumar Verma, and in the next column, I used the function, let's say, out of this. So the first name is there, middle name is there, and the last name of the person is there. However, from this text, if I let's say if I from this text, the name column, I want to extract the first name in some other column so that I can send the email to the people, and I just want to call out their first name there in the email, not the entire name. So in that case, I can extract this their first name. Sometimes there may be situation I would like to call them like rather than calling this person as Krishna Kumar Verma, I would like to call Krishna. In that case, I would need the first name of that person. Sometimes we call them like like from a like from the last name, that maybe Verma, Sharma, or maybe anything else. In that case, you probably need the right word of from the name, and sometimes you probably need to extract the some part of the name from the middle, maybe the middle name like the Kumar here. So for this thing, we can use these functions here, the left, right, and mid, and let's just see how do we use them. So if I use equal to left bracket open and then I am referencing the cell, so let's say this cell is E3, so give me some characters and I will have to tell Excel that from the left of E3 go to the E3. So left bracket open E3. So I am telling the Excel that go to E3 and give me the 7 character and 7 character from left. When I am using left, Excel know that it will have to go in E3 and extract the 7 character from the start position. So I will tell you the result in a bit. Let's just understand. It will go there and pick up 7 character from the start, from the left. And then similarly, if you see this name is there and you can nest it this function also, it will extract those 7 character and then it will change into the upper. So I am just giving you the nesting of it. So you not only wants to extract the first name, but you want to change the first name into the upper letter, then you can nest function. So left in the big win, it will go in here, pick up the 7 character here, and then it will change it to upper and then reflect here. I will show you the result in a while, don't worry about that. Then similarly in the right function, what Excel is telling, that Excel will know that Excel will have to go to E4, and from the right it will have to pick up 5 character, means 1 2 3 4 5. It means I am just picking the last name of the person. Similarly here in the middle, it is saying that in the mid function, Excel will have to go in somewhere in the middle of this text, and we will tell the Excel the position from the middle, that will from which position in the middle it will have to pick and how many character it will have to pick. So here we are telling Excel that give me the mid text from this text from E5 from the ninth position. So 7. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 from middle name here. So this is starting from the K position is 9. So that's why I'm putting 9 and 5, and give me the starting position from here and how many character 1 2 3 4 5. So I want to extract this Kumar here. So go to in this cell and go to the position 9 position in the middle, and from that position give me the total 5 characters. So that's how the left, right, and mid function works. And here I'm using like the function which we used earlier, upper, lower, proper, so that you always remember this. And there, so let's just see the result and then we will discuss this concurrently later. So to understand this left, right, and mid, just look at here. So what we were doing, the result of this left function is here Krishna, and but this Krishna is not looking good. That's why I use this nested function here. Whatever you are extracting, just change it to uppercase. See this, it is extracting the Krishna from here, left, but it is not visibly correct. or looking good. So I use the upper function to change the case of it. Similarly here I am picking the last name with the right function and I am changing everything to lower case just to show you. Similarly these three. Now just I hope that you are clear with the left, right and mid function. Let's just look at the concatenate. What concatenate did? Sorry. Unlike the left, right and mid function does, they extract some portion of a text. The concatenated work otherwise. It basically combines the different text entry into one. So let's just look at here. So if you're just consider a situation here, our name was in one cell. All first, middle and last name is one cell. And let's consider a situation that you got a data extracted or imported from some application where your name is split into three columns. Maybe first name, middle name, and first name, last name, and middle name like this. Now, if you want to combine these entries and you just want to know the complete name of the person like this, then in that case, unlike the left, right and mid, you will have to use the concatenate function. So concatenate function, what it does is it basically combines the different cell entries into one entry. So how do we use it? Concat and range. You can just give this range directly, then it will show the result as Krishna, Verma, Kumar. And if you just want to change this is the sequence, so concatenate this first, then this first, this secondly, and third is Verma. So Krishna, Kumar, Verma. So it will do this like this. And here also, the only problem with this concatenated range is it will not add the space in between because there is no space in this text, so it will just say Krishna Kumar Verma to put together. There is no space, there is no non-printable character added to it. So I shown you the third example. To have the space in these words, you can manually add this like concatenate E11, then comma, then this, you remember these codes to include the space, then comma, E13, then add the middle name, then comma, then add the space, then comma, then add the last name, and I will show you the result here. And then I am changing into upper, lower and proper case. So see the result here. Krishna Kumar Verma was here. Here we are adding this, like with this function, the concatenate function range. So it is adding Krishna, Verma, Kumar. So like this. So I just selected the range like concatenate E11 to E13, 11, 12, 13, this range. Concatenate this range. So it will automatically pick up Krishna, Verma, Kumar. But in this sequence, if I want to change the sequence, I can not directly write the range, but I can write the cell references like go concatenate the E11 first, then E13, Krishna, then Kumar, and then Verma. Then it will just do this. Then you see here, the my name is in the correct sequence. However, there is no space in this. So I will have to use the third scenario here, like concatenate E13, then add a space, then go to E11, sorry, and then go add a space in between so that we have a space here, and then add E13 the middle name, and then again add a space, and then again add the last name. So see the result here, Krishna space Kumar space Verma. So now you have this all three scenarios for concatenate, concat, and concat always uses the ranges. There is a slight difference in concat and concatenate. I will tell you in a while. So in a concat, we can use the range. In a concatenate, we can use a cell reference, individual cell references. The if you see this, the concatenate here, the concat here, it is using the range. If it is using the range here, it means you cannot add a space here, right? You see, if you are using the concat function here, it can give, it is combining this range, but it is not making sense, right? Because all those first name, middle name and the last name is combined together and we are not able to read it. So in that case, you will have to use it in a different way, or you can straight away use the concatenate rather than concat. If your text is like that, it already always have the non-printable character added to this text, then you can use the concat very well because it will reduce your effort to use the function. However, if it is not, then you, rather than using the concat, you can use the concatenate, and you see the results of these functions here. I hope viewers that by now you are clear with the text extraction function, which is left, right and mid, and the text combining or the text concatenation functions, which is concat and concatenate. Let's move on. Okay viewers, let's look at some other text functions. Apart from this, most commonly used, which we just discussed, like the length we discussed the left, right and mid, we discussed the other functions. We have some other text functions as well, which is rarely used, but I think you should know about it. There are find functions, there is search function. They are compatible functions, but there is slight difference in both two. Similarly, we have a replace and substitute function. These are slightly different from each other. Let's just look at this. Okay, so you see here find function. So find function look for the search character. So as the name suggests, find and search both search for a particular text or a character in a search function in the function which is given in the function, and look in the references which you are giving, and then it will look and give you the value or the positioning of the text of a word or a character in that particular search sentence or a text. So suppose there is a text and you want to search for a particular character or for a particular word in that text, then you will use find or search. But what is the difference in this find and search? I'll tell you. See here. Again, we are using the same example, Krishna Kumar Verma, the name of the person. Then I'm saying here, let's just look at this. Find, and then I'm just directly passing the last name here, the Verma. E3, go to E3, find this character. So this is the this syntax, equal to find. So Excel will understand that he will have to use the call the find function, bracket open, then what text you want to find. So bracket, it can be a single letter, it can be a word also. Okay. So then again, everything, if you are putting direct entries, you will always have to use in the quotes. If you see here, so I put in the Verma, comma, go to E3, pick out the word, search for word Verma, and start looking from the first position. What is this? First is first position. So we are telling Excel, go to E3 cell, its first position, and find Verma here. So it will go here and start looking for searching, and it will find Verma, and it find the Verma here, and it will tell me from which position, at which position this Verma is starting. So if you see here, if it is telling us that Verma is starting at the 15th position. And remember viewers that I told you that when Excel is telling you the position, it is always counting those non-printable character like the spaces also here. So this 15th character is basically the Verma word in this Krishna Kumar Verma is starting at the 15th position. And when I say the 15th position, this 15th positions also include non-printable character. Just remember this. Okay. Similarly, so we use the same thing here. You just see this. So if you see the result, so I use this formula in three ways here. So you see, I use the Verma, yani V capital, everything is else is small. However, if you see here in this, so V is small and VERMA is capital. However, this here I written it in a different way. So V is capital and ERMA is in small. And that's why the result of this function is value. It means this find function is a case sensitive. So what do you mean by case sensitive? If I am not searching any string. If I am searching a string which is not exactly written in the same way in the text where I am trying to find it, it will not find it. You see here, it is not finding. Now here, to mitigate this situation, because I may not know that I want to find a last name, a name of a person whose last name is Verma, but I don't know in my text it is written in a uppercase, lowercase or sentence case. Then what I can do is, rather than finding and looking it and writing it into the same format, what I can do is I have a upper function, guys. So how do we use it? So upper Verma. So just I am just saying that Verma, find the Verma word and change it to Verma. So find, and wherever you are finding it, before finding, change it also to uppercase. So I am also writing it, whatever I am writing Verma, it will change it to uppercase. It will be VERMA in capital. Again, it will go to E3 and change this E3 everything for comparison purposes in the capital letter, and then check it. See here, it find it. And similarly, I use a third variance of it like find Verma. So if you see here, if I am directly passing on the argument, and if I want to know that I will any which way change the upper 3 E3, I will you be using the upper function. So then rather than putting it into the other case and then using upper function, I can directly put it into the capital letter here, right? So find Verma in capital letter and go in the E3, change the E3 to capital and then find the Verma from there. Then it is again finding it. So in the first scenario, why it is not finding it? Because the search value should be exact match. Means that this find function is a case sensitive. If you are finding something and which is not written in the finding text in the same way, like in the capital or a small or a sentence case, it will not find it. So to deal with it, you will have to use uppercase, lowercase, or a or a uppercase, lowercase, or a proper case functions depending on your need. So you can use these nested functions. Instead of using this, you can use in a nested way and you can get your results. So similarly, see here it is not getting, because Krishna is written like here, few words in capital, small, and then last two words of Krishna is in capital letter, but here I everything I written in small letter. That's why the result is not here. To deal with this, I can use the uppercase. So I change it, use in the uppercase, and then see it give me the results that the Krishna is starting at the first position. Here Verma is starting at the 15th position. Here look at here, the Kumar, the middle name, and it is again was written in haywire situation, but I put in here K capital and rest in small. That's why it is not finding the result here. Again I am using the proper the uppercase here to mitigate this situation, so that whatever way it is written in my text, I am not bothered about this. While you are comparing it to find a match, just change it to uppercase and then match it, and then it is matching it here, that Kumar is starting at the 9th position in the sentence. This is how we can read it. Now once we know the position of those text, we can use left, mid, or right function. If I want to see, if I for this example, if I would like to extract the Kumar word, the middle name of this, so I need to know where the Kumar is starting and where the Kumar is ending. So or the what is the length of Kumar. So I from this I know that what is the starting position of Kumar, and then I can find out that how many numbers there in the count, and I will tell you in the when we will be using the left, right, and mid functions, then you will know it better. But this is how this will give you a sense then how do you use a find function to identify a position of a particular word or a character in a sentence or in a text or in a history. So as you are getting it here, and I already told you, if you are not finding, there is something which is not matching, because just remember find is a case sensitive function. Now let's just look at the search. Search will always work in the similar way the find is working. The only difference in these two functions is find is case sensitive and search is not a case sensitive. So let's see here. Here we were not getting the result because the value which I was searching was not written in the same way which is written in the search function. Like here, if you don't want to use the find here, just remember, if you are not bothered about the case sensitivity, then rather than using the find, you can go ahead and use the search function here, viewers. And see here, for search function, whatever way I am writing it or I am using these two functions, so everywhere I am getting the result, same results. Now just look at the replace function. Replace function is nothing. Replace the text function is used to the replace text function is used to replace a portion of a text. A portion of a text. Just remember, a portion of a text, or even you can replace it with everything. Not everything, because it will you will have to give it the starting position and the end position of it, that what you want to replace. But let's say if in some text entry you want to make some modifications, some updations, you can do it through the replace and the substitute command. Okay, let's just see it. And there is some difference in the replace and the substitute here. So let's just look at this. Krishna Kumar Verma, and I'm just saying that go equal to replace. This is the function I'm calling. Bracket open. Go to E3, and the 15th position of it. 15th position is starting with 15th position. If you see here, is the starting of my last name Verma. So go to the 15th position. So see here, replace, go to E3 13 and go to the 15th position. So this 15th position I am coming, that from where my last name is starting. My last name is starting at the 15th position. Go to the 15th position and 15th position to 5 more positions. So 15 to 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. These 5 positions. Go to replace, go to E3 and this 15th position and replace this word Verma. So basically 15 5 means go to the 15th position and replace the 5 characters from there as Sarma. So this name will replace Krishna Kumar Verma to Krishna Kumar Sarma. Okay, let's look at here. The Krishna Kumar Verma Sarma. Yeah, it got replaced. Krishna Kumar Sarma, Krishna Kumar Sarma, Krishna Kumar Sarma. Similarly, you can use a substitute function. Say here substitute. Substitute is again replacing this something, but you will not have to bother about where that particular text or a is positions in the search function. So here exactly before replacing, you will have to know the you will have to, in the replace function, you basically have to pass in the value, which is very tedious, right? First of all, user have to know that where the last name is starting, though we have a function to know that position also, right? Through this, using this find function. However, we have a better way to do it. You can use a substitute function where the similarly we will use change the Verma to Sarma. However, this is little easy, right? You see here, substitute, go to is this one and change V to V. So I am just changing the small v to capital V. So it will automatically go there and search the V character here and will change it to capital. So see here, this Verma, V of Verma, it gets changed to capital letter. Similarly, I can substitute multiple character. The benefit of using substitute function is you don't have to exactly tell Excel that where the Excel need to go in that cell, what position the Excel will have to go, and how many position will have to replace. This is little tedious, right? Rather than in the substitute function, you are just telling go and find this and replace with this. So you are not telling it the Excel that where that particular text which is need to be replaced, which need to be substituted, where it is in that particular text. Excel will do it automatically themselves. Okay viewers, I hope that now you are aware about the find and search, and the difference of find and search is very important. Find is a case sensitive, remember this, like this, if it is case sensitivity is not matching, it will not produce the result. However, search function is not a case sensitive. Even if you are writing in another way which is not exact match in the, however the character is matching, the case is not matching, even there it will find that and it will show you the result. Similarly, you have a replace and substitute function. You can use them, these functions, interchangeably, because I would say the substitute is much easier because, and replace is much a little tedious to understand. However, you have a need to use both the functions, because every time you don't know what is the first name last name you are going to replace, and if you know exactly, go and use substitute. If you don't know and you want Excel to know it, then probably you will have to use the replace function. Okay viewers, let's go and move on. So we were, as I told you that, I would not be able to cover everything because as the video would be so long, but I think you got the perspective, and today you become familiar with the most commonly used text functions. Apart from these text functions which I explained you in detail, with the syntax, with the examples and the output of those functions which we used for the text calculations, there are some other functions like clean functions. it removes all the non-printable character from your text. So what we will do is it will remove all not non-printable character and give you the another version of the text. Dollar function convert a number to a text. So let's say if there is a numbers populated in a particular column or a cell or a row and you want to use those number as a text, you can simply use this dollar function to change it. There is a phonetic function. It extracts the phonetic or Fury Ghana characters from the text string. If you want to know what are the phonetic characters, just let me know by commenting on the comment box to me. I will respond. Then there is a rept function, which is the short form of the repeat function. Repeat function is nothing. If you want to repeat some text, uh, you know how many times, you can tell Excel and use the repeat function. T function is converts its argument into text. Okay, then there are text join function, like we had the concatenate. You can have this repeat text in a given number of times. Okay, then there is a trim function. This is a really important function which I wanted to cover, but I think I can tell you theoretically, and I think it's very easy. So if you are you know, you have some data which is extracted from some application and you don't know, so sometime what happens is, so let's say just go to that example, the name written in the cell is Krishna Kumar Verma, but sometimes what happen is, if this name is coming from some application, what that application does is it will add some blank character before Krishna, and sometimes it will add some blank characters which is the non-printable character, you know, once my name is completed after the Verma. So when I want to use this, it will you know, use my extra length. It will increase my length of a text. And if I want to deal with this, I want to remove the, this is the spaces or the non-printable character which is added by as a result when I exported this data from some application. So so anything before is known as a leading, anything you know, after is known as trailing. So it, if you want to remove that extra non-printable or extra characters which you don't need at the beginning or at the end, you can go ahead and very well use this text function. It will automatically remove the leading and trailing text or a spaces from the from the text or a string, but it will not remove anything in between. So let's say Krishna Kumar Verma, there is something before Krishna, there is something after Verma. It will remove those, but it will not remove the space like Krishna Kumar Verma, and there are two spaces. It will not remove that. It will just remove before the beginning. It will just remove everything after the ending. These are the these, and this is called as a trailing and a leading thing. There is a value function, convert a text argument into a number format. If you have something in the text, as I told you that the roll number, if you extracted some student table from an application and the roll number is tagged or formatted as text, but you want to perform some calculation just from logical perspective, though in logically you should not do any calculation on the text values, but sometimes there are situations where we need to do it. So what we need to do is we can just change the type of those you know, text values into the value. So you can use a value function. It will change those character values into the number values for that calculation reasons. Okay, and there are situations to this. There is another function known as a character function. So viewers, and there is another function is a code function. These two functions are interchangeably not interchangeably, but they are the contrast to each other. One is returning the character against the code, another is returning a code against the character. So viewers, this is something related to ASCII character, or you know, the number format which computer technology uses, computer science uses. So don't bother about that. Just as of now, just remember this: if you are pass in the character function, if you are passing a code, it will give you a character associated to that code. Just know about this. If you use a code function, if you have a code of a character, so there are some situations, Excel, every character which we use and which is visible in our output devices is coded as a number at the back end in the computer technology or into the IT technology, and it is used everywhere. And it, of course, it uses into the Excel also, because ultimately we need to go to that assembly level, right? So each character have a code, and each code have a character similarly. So if you want to know the character of code, you can use these two functions. I hope viewers that today we covered the text functions in much detailing, the most commonly used with the examples, data sets, and the how do we use them, what are the outputs which they produce, and how do we use that output in the conceptual terms. And after this we use few more functions, the useful text functions which can be useful to you and good to know. And let's move on to the our next favorite session, or maybe the section which is known as a tools and technique and demonstration. Let's just whatever we learned today conceptually, we learn about the concept, the names of the function, the type of the text functions, and like the length, the left, right, mid, or the other type, find, replace, and the substitute. Okay, and let's just see the demonstration of these in the real life with the examples. Okay viewers, now let's just cover the demo part of it. So let's just look at the very first function which we had covered, the length function. And this is our text in the column. In this column E, I have put in different text into different cell, like knowledge. This is all about length function. Know the length function. Use double parenthesis for, it's not the parenthesis but it's the quotes. We know it quotes. Okay, or right, let me just change it here. Okay, or let me just not change it for a while, just for a demo purposes. So here I have written the formulas here. So I have just, so viewers, if you want to know that what is the formula written, so you can toggle in your keyboard control and tilde operators. See this, you can change from value to the formula view mode. So I am in the formula view mode here. So I use a formula here like equal to len l3. So tell me the length of l3. Okay, similarly length for e4, e5, e6, e7. Okay, and this cells will show me the result of length of these individual text here. Similarly, if I want to, like, rather than referencing the cells here like e3, e4, e5, I can directly use the text in this length function. However, just remember that you will have to use these codes. You will have to use your text, a word or a sentence within these quotes, and they are this is known as a quotes. This double quotes is used here, so this will produce the same result. Let's just look at the result part of it. So if I just drag it little, I change it the view from formula view to the result view. See the length, you see this formula is visible here in the formula bar, I told you earlier, right? So the when it is referencing the length is 9, it is also referring length is 9. 38, 33, I think I changed something here. This is 24, this is again same. Yeah, if you see it here. So let me just quickly change it, that if I am passing it direct as a value here and within the quotes, it should give me the same length, right? And let's just see what happened here. Let me just copy it directly so that everything is identical from a comparison perspective. You see here, I will just see and put it here. You see, yeah, so the length is 9, whether I am putting it through the references or whether I am giving it as a direct value, the result is same here. Here we put the direct value, here we put the function references, here we put the direct value, references, direct value, direct value. So you know that the length function is basically return you the value of the length of your text. So the knowledge word, the length of the knowledge word is 9. Okay, this is what you need to conclude from this. This is all about length function. The length of this sentence is 33 characters. And remember, these 33 characters include the special character. What is the special non-printable character? You see here, this space is a special non-printable character here. But in this 33, this length is also counted here. Similarly, it is counted here. Similarly, it is counted here like this. So see this, why there is a difference. And we just changes the, let's just copy it, so that because the result of both the cells would be same, right, if we are using everything as same. Okay, so let me just see. So the result, the length, whether you are using a references or whether you are directly using the text into the cells value, just remember to use this. The every text entry should be under this quotes starting and the end point of it, and then the bracket close. So this will give you the same result. So we know that the knowledge is, the length of a knowledge is 9, length of this second is 33 characters, length of this 24 is like this 66, and like this 96. So we may know. And why do we want to know the length of this? We would come to know in the future sessions, because while we know the length of our text, we can deal it and with some other functions, and how do we use it, we will come to know in the later. But today's purpose is solved, that we wanted to tell you what is the purpose of using the length function. You can know the length of your text. Okay, now let's move on to the second thing. Now the another thing was the change case functions of text functions, like upper, lower, and proper. So see here, I have written this name here, and I purposely written it in a different way. See, the few first few character is small, then capital, then few, then capital, then small, then capital, and it's a mix and match. Okay, and this is not properly readable, right? And if you want to change this to completely uppercase, lowercase, or a proper case, uppercase, lowercase, and a proper case, and I use this formula here, right, through the references. And you can directly use it into the Excel also, but I think that the purpose of using Excel is basically to use the references. And let us just look at how it produced the result here. See here, this Krishna Kumar Verma was written as in a haywire format, in a mix and match format here. However, it is showing is a capital because I change it to upper. I use the upper function here. Change the E3 value into upper. So it changed it to upper. Similarly, in this, I use the lowercase. So it changed everything in the lowercase. I used here the proper case. So see here, in the proper case, every character, like here it was small k, but it when I use the proper case, it automatically changed k to capital, and rest all character in that word to small. Similarly for Kumar, it was capital only, so it kept the same, but there was some other capital letter which is changed to lower letter. Similarly for Verma, it is V is was written as small, however in the proper case. So you understood, over upper change will change everything to upper characters, upper words, and lower will change everything to lower case, and these the proper case will change everything to, like the first character of each word would be capital. You can say is like this in a sentence case also, kind of sentence case. So hope viewers that you understood this use of this upper, lower, and proper case very well with these examples in a very short time frame, right? And if there is any question, you can comment me. I can respond you there if you still not understood anything. Let's just look at some other function. So there are other functions like left, right, and mid. We talked about. We will use the same function. I have written this name here in the same format, and then there is some sentence. Okay, so here let's say I wanted to extract the first name out of this, the total the complete name. So I wrote a formula here, equal to left, go to E3. This is E3, right? And give me the 7 characters. So go to this E3 cell, and from the left give me 7. 1 2 3 4 5 7. So I know that the first name, the length of my first name is 7 character. That's why I am asking 7. So right side, so here I use the right formula, go to this E4, and from the right give me 5. 1 2 3 4 5. So I am extracting my last name here. So here I want to extract the middle name, so I am using the function mid, equal to mid, go to E5, E5 range, and from the ninth position, seventh is Krishna, and eighth is space, 9 is K. So 9, and how many from middle name? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 9 position to 5 character. So mid function asks for 3 arguments. One is from where you want to extract, which position you want to start extracting, and how many character from that position you want. So we want to extract from E5 from its ninth position, and from ninth position to give me the 5 character, which will give me the Verma. And similarly here, and let's just look at this. And similarly concatenate, I told you the example, like if your name is written in different cells, like first name, middle name, and last name differently, and you want to concatenate, so you can use concat function, and you can simply give the range. Yeah, E11 to E13, right, Krishna? But how it will combine it? It will combine in that sense only where you selected it. So Krishna, Verma, Kumar. But this is not the right way. If I want to change this sequence, then you can use concatenate also, because in concatenate also you can, or here in concatenate also, concat also you can change the range. Let's just see this if it works. So I want Krishna first, then I want Kumar, which is middle name, then I need a Verma. Let's just see if it works. It Okay, just give me a sec. See here, it worked, right? So concatenate, I can directly give the range, but if I want to change the sequence, I will have to give one by one. The only problem here with concatenate is that it is concatenating, but it is not adding any trailing spaces here, or the special character which is needs to be here. But you can do them by adding manually. Let me just move to the formula mode once again, and let me add it here. How did I do? So this comma, and then I'm using quotes, space, comma, then add this name, then again comma, space, comma, again this. So this, and see this result. If I wanted to know this one, see here, now the space is also got added here. So see, this function left, right, and mid to extract some part of the from the text, like first name, middle name, and last name. And this concatenate is basically otherwise to combine the multiple text into one. Let's just see the result. Okay, see the result here. So I use this function left here, from left 7 character it gave me Krishna, and I change this Krishna to upper, just to show you the previous uses of this function, like upper we had used, right? So I just wanted to change it upper, like I used it here right, and then I change it to lower. Then I use it the middle function here from ninth position to give me the 5 characters. So it extracted the middle name to me here, and I change this to proper case. Similarly for these examples. And here also for concatenate, I use this name, but name written differently here. Here it was the complete name in one cell, 3 different words. However, here if you extracted, let's say, the data from some application which split your name into 3 columns, like it is row written here in a row, but it could have been like this. Like, let me just show it. Just give me a sec. Let me just transpose this. Control C, we can do it here. And there is a very interesting feature in Excel. I can go to home, I can just click on here, and then you can go to the paste special here, and you can just click on value, and you can just use this option transpose. So here my data was written in a column format. I want to change it to row format. So see it here. Yeah, see, this is my text, and I can say this is my first name, this is my let's say last name, okay, and this is my middle name. Okay, now if I just want to combine this, then what to do? I can use concatenate, right? I'm just giving you another example, concat, and I'll just say it like this. Okay, I selected the range here, so it added, but it is not giving me the, in this range, it is not allowing me to add anything else in this space as the trailing character, right? So but I can use the another variation of it, like concat, and I can just say it that, okay, add the first name first, comma, then add the space, comma, then add my middle name, then comma, add the space, remember, space in the quotes. Okay, and then add this. See, now this is here, but it is not in the proper format, right? We can just change it to upper, let's say. So you can use the nested function within the function, right? This is called nested upper. See, now it is looking good, right? Then Krishna Kumar Verma, we combined it using the concatenate function. So I hope viewers you understood this, the functions of left, right, mid, and the concatenate, and these two versions of this concatenate and concatenate both works in a similar way. You can use them like that. Let's move on to the next functions. You see here find. So I use the same example like Krishna Kumar Verma, the name, and I use three different variations. Let's just look at these three variations. Okay, see here guys, this one is written as find. And what is the find word? You need to find Verma in E3. This is E3. And from which position it needs to find? It needs to find from first position. So it will go here in E3 and start looking for Verma. And it will find Verma here. And it will return me the position from where Verma is starting. And here I use for Verma. Here I use for Krishna. Here I use for Kumars. The same thing. However, see the result here, and I'll tell you why it is generating some result. So similarly, I use is I am passing this Verma word here, but what I am telling Excel to do is okay, search for Verma. However, don't do search for it like this, V capital E R M A. Change everything to upper, change Verma to upper, and go to E3 and change E3 to upper, and then search for Verma. And look at this, that how this thing will work. And similarly for Krishna, similar for Krishna Kumar. Let's just see the result. See here, what happened here? Okay, Excel width gets little adjusted. Okay, let me just adjust the width for a while for all of you guys. Okay, now let's look at this. Why this formula is not generating the result? I gave you find Verma, it is not generating. Find Krishna, it is not generating result. While the Krishna, which I am written in here, Krishna is part of this text, right? Krishna is written here. But you see the Krishna I am asking you to find is in the lower case. However, when I look at the text where I'm trying to find Krishna, is some character is written in the small letter and some are in the capital letter. Then remember I told you in the concept talk that find function is a case sensitive function, and this is what the case sensitive meaning. If you are trying to find something, it should be exact match in the text where you are trying to find it, else it will not find and it will generate an error like it here. So to deal with it, either what I will have to do is I will have to write everything like that only, right? Whatever is there in like I will have to put it like that, Chris in a small letter and N in capital letter. But I can't know everything, right? I don't have to read out. So I will have to use some other tricks and techniques or tools, like what we have upper function, right in the we just changed checked about the upper function here, right? We use upper lower and middle function here. Let's just leverage that. Okay, how do we leverage that? Let's leverage it here. How do we leverage it? So without knowing that it in my text, with what I am trying to find is either in upper letter or lower letter or in proper case, what I will do is I am using the different technique. What I am doing is here is okay, go and find Verma, but before finding Verma, just change this Verma to capital letter. I use upper here. Similarly, I am telling go to E3 and change E3 also upper. So basically, whatever I am trying to find, change that also to capital, and wherever I am trying to find, change that also to upper letter. So I am just making apple to apple. So change it to capital, change it to capital, and then find Krishna. Then of course there is no reason, if Krishna is there, it will find it, right? Here it was not finding because of case sensitivity on in all three cases. That's why I put this example here. But to deal with this, we use these techniques to change everything apple to apple and then we are checking it, and apple to apple will match, right? It gave me the result, right? What is the result? That the word Krishna, the Varma in E3 is at 15th position. Okay, that is what it is telling here. The word Krishna is at the first position in this, right? It is starting from first position. Varma is starting at 15th position. Okay, and this here is Kumar. Kumar is starting at 9th position. So what this find position tell me? It go and look for a text which I am trying to find in the text, and it will tell me the start position of it. Okay, I hope the find is clear. Just remember, find is a case sensitive. Either you will have to put the, if you are directly passing the values, or even if you are passing the references, you need to know that references you can't of course change. You can change it here only, but you can use other different techniques, which is the other function. You can utilize other available text functions which will help you as a tool and technique to get rid of that issue here, which is here you are not able to get the position of that text because of the case sensitivity. You can deal with those case sensitivity with the other, with applying the other tool and technique, which is the upper function, lower function, or the proper function. So basically you are making, you can change to everything to upper and then compare, you can change everything to lower and then compare, or you can change everything to sentence and then compare. So apple to apple will cover, right? Will match, right? Similarly, there is a search function. So there is no difference with this find and search. In the same way they work. The only thing is that it is not, the search is not case sensitive as this one. So see here, I use the same. Okay, let me just show you the formula view once again. Let's look at for search. So for search also here we use the same thing. Like, instead of find we just use search. I just put in search Verma in this and search Krishna in this, search Kumar in this. Though this case is not matching, right? V here is in capital, all are other are in small letter. Like when you see the search text where I am searching Verma, V is small, rest is capital, completely opposite, right? But as I told you, this function is a search function is not a case sensitive as find is. If in this case you would have used find, it would have not worked. However, search will work. So means that whatever you are searching using the search function, if that exists in this searched text, irrespective of capital letter, lower letter, upper letter, sentence case, whatever it is, it will find it, it will search it and give you the result. And let me just show you the formula. See here in these three example, it was not working. Find was not working because find is case sensitive. However, search is completely worked. It is giving me that Krishna, the Varma is positioning in this type as the 15th position. Varma is starting from 15th position. Krishna is starting from first position, and Kumar is starting from the 9th position. So this is also worked. This also worked. Why find did not work here? Search worked here because it is not case sensitive. So there is only one difference in these two functions. You can use these interchangeably. If you find you don't know that how it is value is written in your find search, which is the normal case, you can go for search rather than find. Similarly, you have other two functions, replace and substitute. In the replace function is basically I already told you about the concept. I am just giving you the demonstration. The name is here written here, and then I used a function here, like you see replace, go to E3. Okay, this is E13, and go to 15th position of E13, and to from 15th position to 5 more position. So 1 2 3 4 5. So I am basically trying to replace the middle name, not the middle name. 15th is starting from here, V, right? If you see this one, the Verma is at 15th position. So Verma, so I want to replace Verma to Sarma. So here is, I am just using this function here, that equal to replace bracket open in E13, go to 15th position and replace 5 words, 5 characters from that position, and these 5 characters with these 5 characters. So I don't know what is the 5 character there, but replace, find that character, go to this position and replace those 5 characters, whatever they are, to Sarma, and see, this will change it here. So this is the same function I used it here, and similarly you can use substitute also. But there is one minimum, big difference between these two: the find and substitute, replace and substitute. In the replace function, you will have to exactly tell Excel. You are exactly telling the Excel that where Excel need to go. Of course, substitute, you will also help tell, substitute function will also tell Excel where need to go. But in this, in the replace function, in this function, replace function, you are telling Excel, you will have to tell the Excel that from which position, starting position, and how many character, and what are the new characters. So these two extra thing you don't have to tell the substitute function. In the substitute function, what you are supplying is, go to E13 and change V to V. Okay, I'm just changing this V to V. It can be a complete character, complete word also. So here you don't have to, in the substitute function, viewers, you don't have to bother about the positioning. You don't, here you are telling the positioning and the starting positioning of it, and then total number of character. No, here in the substitute you are telling, find this, replace with this, that's it. It's a kind of replacement, but substitute function. These are the only difference between the replace and substitute function. And let me just show you the result of it. So here, see here. So my text was, so let's look at the replace first. In the Krishna Kumar Verma, I change it to Krishna Kumar Sharma. Krishna Kumar Sharma, I change to upper, I change it to lower letter, nothing else. Okay. Here, what I am doing is, I am again doing the same thing. I am changing Krishna Kumar. So he, see here, I'm just changing one character like V. I'm changing small v to capital V. So it will automatically find. So I am not telling you to go to the 15th position like I was telling in the previous function. Here I am just telling, if you look at the formula bar, substitute V to V, small v to capital V. It will automatically go and find in this where the small v is, and it will replace, substitute it the capital V. I am not telling the where exactly V is there in this character, or even if it is there or not. Let's see, if V is not there at all, then what happen? It will not change anything, right? Because it is not getting finded here. But if it is getting finded and it needs to be changed, it will find it and it will change it. I am not have to bother about its position, right? If I am changing from V to here, let's say V Kumar, okay? So this V will change here, right? So wherever my V is here in this text, it will, Excel will automatically find its position and change it. I don't have to bother about it. That's the only difference, and that's the beauty of substitute instead of replace. Replace is little tedious to use. However, there are situations where you probably have to use replace only, and substitute may not work, but these functions can be used interchangeably depending on your data where they are. Okay, I hope viewers that with today's sessions you would be very well be able to deal with your text which is available into your Excel sheet. Whether maybe it may be a caption, it may be a description, it may be anything else, but the intent is that you should be able to deal the text with the Excel to be master in Excel. Viewers, if you are liking my videos, please like, share and subscribe, and share my videos with the students, professionals, new learners, and with you all who wants to be efficient enough using and be a master in Excel. Thank you so much, viewers.